9099x Cultivation System. Cultivate for 1 minute and gain 999x experience points. Cultivation will skyrocket. With every step I take, my movement technique will gain 999 times the experience and be upgraded to Divine Tier. Punching once, the punching technique will receive 999 times the XP and be upgraded to a Divine Punching technique. Just by taking a look at alchemy, his alchemy attainments had increased by 999 times, and he had been promoted to a Divine Grade Alchemist. He glanced at the Sword Intent Stone Tablet, activated 999 times Comprehension, and comprehended the unparalleled sword intent. After Jia Yu transmigrated to the Xuanyuan world, he received 999 times the experience system. The danger of death activated the system, and no matter what he did, he would receive a specific enhancement. Chapter 1. Kanglin Empire, Kaoyang Ancient City, Demon Beast Mountain Range. Ha! 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 A severely injured young man was panting heavily as he struggled to run forward. His legs were sore and swollen. In the end, he could not hold on any longer and knelt on the ground weakly. At this moment, a young man appeared in front of him. "Little trash, why aren't you running anymore? Try running again if you dare." The young man mocked. "Since you can't run anymore, I'll send you down to accompany your 2 old men." Jia Yu closed his eyes in despair. His lips curled into a self-mocking smile. So what if he died? It wasn't his first time dying anyway. However, at this moment, an emotionless and cold voice rang in his mind. Ding! It's detected that the owner is in danger. The 999 times cultivation system has been activated in advance. The moment the cold voice rang, Jia Yu suddenly felt that his body was filled with energy. To be precise, he recovered from his severely injured state to his peak state in an instant. It was the system. Jia Yu opened his eyes abruptly. As a transmigrator, how could he not know about the system? With hope rekindled, he did not plan to wait for death like this. The reason he knew about the system was that he had transmigrated from Earth to the mysterious heavenly continent 16 years ago. This was a fantasy world where the strong preyed on the weak and the strong preyed on the weak. He did not have many memories of his birth parents. He was adopted by an ordinary family in Kaoyang Ancient City when he was young. He thought that he would be able to make a name for himself in this world. Who would have thought that the system would only be activated when he reached 18 years old? Not only that, his talent was extremely mediocre and his physique was almost useless. Just yesterday, he coincidentally obtained a miraculous elixir that could change one's aptitude. However, the young master of the Chen family, one of the 3 major families in Kaoyang Ancient City, found out about it. Overnight, his family was destroyed. His adoptive parents lost their lives in order to help him escape. Jia Yu could not help but tremble at the thought of that scene. He clenched his fist tightly and his eyes turned gloomy. He wanted to grind his teeth into pieces. However, Chen Yan wanted to eliminate the root of the problem. He kept running and Chen Yan's subordinates kept chasing after him. When he reached the Demon Beast Mountain, he was finally exhausted. Fortunately, he activated the system in time. Otherwise, he would have died just now. Jia Yu calmed down the hatred in his heart. The most important thing now was to survive. He dodged to the side and dodged a dagger coming at him from the front. Ding! Master has taken a step forward. Basic movement technique experience gained, 19999 times. Ding! Congratulations, Master! Your basic movement technique has successfully broken through to the initial success stage. Ding! Congratulations, Master! Your basic movement technique has successfully broken through to the mastery realm. Ding! Congratulations, Master! Your basic movement technique has successfully broken through to the dominating refinement realm. Ding! Congratulations, Master! Your basic movement technique has successfully broken through to the greater height stage. Detected that the basic movement technique experience bar is full. Automatically upgraded to the yellow rank low-grade profound skill soaring wind steps. At this moment, a series of voices bombarded his mind one after another, bombarding him until he was in a daze. He felt a large amount of information regarding the soaring wind steps suddenly surge into his mind, and he inexplicably grasped this profound movement skill. This system is too awesome. Jia Yu's eyes were full of disbelief. He had just dodged a dagger, and he had mastered a yellow-level skill. How could there be such a miraculous thing in the world? But he immediately recovered. It was not the time to be distracted. He could lose his life if he was not careful. The one who attacked Jia Yu with a dagger was a young man in his 20s. Seeing that he missed, the young man was surprised. "Oh, I didn't expect you to have the strength to dodge. But what's the use? If Chen Xiaoi wants you to die, you will die today." The young man's eyes flashed with malice. The dagger went towards Jia Yu's neck again. Chapter 2. Although he didn't know why this trash still had the strength to resist. This trash only had a cultivation at the third level of the body tempering stage and was now heavily injured. He could casually kill this trash. Jia Yu's gaze was gloomy as he stared at the young man before him. He instinctively dodged and easily dodged the attack. However, he didn't dodge to the end this time. When he moved to the side of the young man, he clenched his right fist and instantly smashed it towards the young man's abdomen. At the instant his fist smashed out, that icy cold and emotionless voice sounded out once again. "Ding! Master has struck a fist. Basic fist technique obtained experience. 1999 times. Ding! Congratulations, Master. Basic fist technique has broken through to the perfection of perfection. Ding! Detected that basic fist technique experience is full. Automatically upgraded to yellow rank low-grade profound skill. Inch force fist." Similar to before, a large amount of knowledge instantly gushed into Jia Yu's mind. He practically learned the inch force fist by himself. He was instantly pleasantly surprised. Earlier, he casually took a step and obtained a yellow rank movement technique. Now, he casually struck a punch and obtained a yellow rank fist technique. An expensive profound skill was actually so easily obtained in front of him. Was there anything more awesome than this in the world? At the same time, on the other side, because Jia Yu's speed was truly too fast, the young man didn't even have time to react before his abdomen was heavily struck by Jia Yu's basic fist technique that had already reached the perfection of perfection stage. Cough. The young man only felt a burst of intense pain in his abdomen. He couldn't help but bend down and cover his abdomen with both hands. His expression was unsightly and his eyes were filled with disbelief. He didn't dare believe that this trash's speed was actually so fast, and was even able to injure him who had a higher cultivation. The young man looked at Jia Yu with a savage expression. How did this trash become so strong? Jia Yu laughed coldly. "It's your turn now." His gaze turned cold as he instantly executed the inch force fist and smashed it towards the young man without holding back in the slightest. Ding! Master has executed the inch force fist. Inch force fist obtained experience, 2999 times. Ding! Congratulations, Master. The yellow rank inferior profound skill inch force fist has successfully broken through to initial success. With a muffled bang, the young man was sent flying 1 or 2 meters away. Jia Yu coldly looked at the unconscious young man at her feet. There was no trace of pity in her eyes. Then, he walked to a rock and sat down. Ha! Jia Yu raised his head slightly inside. The system was finally activated. He no longer had to endure the humiliation of others. A sinister light flashed across his eyes. With this system, he must kill that dog, Chen Yan. At this moment, he recalled the system's performance just now. It seemed that no matter what he did, he would receive 999 times experience enhancement. The system's name was also called the 999 times cultivation system. Suddenly, a thought rose in his mind. Since that was the case, would practicing martial arts also give him 999 times more experience? In order to prove her conjecture, Jia Yu couldn't wait to start cultivating. Suppressing the excitement in his heart, he quickly entered a meditative state. A martial artist needed profound Kai to practice martial arts. Profound Kai was an illusory thing between heaven and earth. He was absorbing profound Kai from heaven and earth. It flowed from the top of his head into his body, then flowed through his meridians and finally gathered in his dantian. At this moment, Jia Yu had already started cultivating for more than half a minute. However, he still didn't hear the system's notification. He couldn't help but feel a little disappointed. But very quickly, he felt relieved. After all, the system was already awesome enough. If practicing martial arts could give him 999 times experience enhancement, then it would be ridiculously awesome. However, just as Jia Yu was about to give up on cultivating, the system's notification suddenly sounded. Chapter 3. Ding! Master has cultivated martial arts for 1 minute. Martial arts cultivation exp gained 19099 times. Ding! Congratulations, Master. Martial cultivation has successfully broken through to the middle stage of the third level of the body tempering realm. Jia Yu's body suddenly trembled. His eyes were filled with both joy and shock. It turned out that he had to cultivate for a full minute to get the 9099 times experience enhancement. He almost gave up. Furthermore, his martial cultivation had a breakthrough just like that. This was too terrifying. Before this, he had been stuck at the early stage of the third level of the body tempering realm for 2 to 3 months. Now, he only needed 1 minute to break through. This is too awesome. Jiayu was wild with joy. If this continued, it wouldn't be long before he could find Chen Yan for revenge. Then, he continued to cultivate his martial arts. With the 9099X cultivation system, breaking through was as easy as eating and drinking tea for him. Ding! Congratulations, Master. Martial cultivation has successfully broken through to the middle stage of the fourth level of the body tempering realm. After about 2 hours, Jiayu directly broke through 5 stages. His cultivation rose from the middle stage of the third level of the body tempering realm to the middle stage of the fourth level of the body tempering realm. If this kind of terrifying cultivation speed were to spread, it would definitely shock the entire Kaoyang ancient city and even the Kanglin Empire. However, he wasn't a fool. He couldn't reveal this kind of information. Otherwise, he would attract a lot of trouble and even get himself killed. It was already late, so Jiayu started to leave. On the way out of the Demon Beast mountain range, Jiayu encountered a few first-grade demonic beasts. He killed them and collected some demonic beast materials. Human martial artists were divided into the body tempering realm, defensive realm, Tongshuan realm, spirit profound realm, and so on. There were a total of 4 types of demonic beasts in the Demon Beast mountain range. They were divided into first grade to fourth grade demonic beasts. First grade demonic beasts corresponded to body tempering realm martial artists. Second grade demonic beasts corresponded to defensive realm martial artists, and so on. While hunting demonic beasts, soaring wind steps and inch force fist had also been strengthened to the mastery level. Minor success, mastery, perfection, and great perfection. These were the 4 realms of Xuan techniques. After leaving the Monster Beast mountain range, he stopped at a small town outside the Monster Beast mountain range and found a grocery store. During this trip, he had obtained a lot of Demon Beast materials. He planned to exchange them for some gold coins. Gold coins were the universal currency of this world. In other words, it was money. The shopkeeper sitting behind the counter wanted to receive the guest, but when he saw the young man covered in wounds and blood, he couldn't help but be stunned. He had stayed here for many years and had seen many heavily injured martial cultivators. However, this was the first time he had seen someone who could still be so lively despite being heavily injured. Jiayu didn't say a word and directly put the sack of demonic beast materials in front of the counter. The shopkeeper came back to his senses and opened the sack to take a look. These demonic beast materials are worth about 90 gold coins in total. I'll give you 100 gold coins. All right. Jiayu nodded slightly and left the grocery store with a small cloth bag containing 100 gold coins. However, just as he stepped out of the grocery store, he happened to pass by 2 people who came in from outside. Jiayu took a glance and found that it was a girl in a red dress and a maid holding a sword. The girl in the red dress was elegant and had unforgettable facial features. Jiayu recognized the girl in the red dress. It seemed that she was Zhang Yuechu, the daughter of the city lord of Kaoyang ancient city. Moreover, she was undoubtedly the first genius. It was said that her cultivation had reached the defensive mystic realm. However, even if this girl was strong, he wouldn't have much of a reaction. After all, for him, practicing martial arts was almost as simple as eating and drinking tea. It was only a matter of time before he surpassed the first genius. Although this girl was a rare beauty, his soul wouldn't be taken away. He just casually glanced at her and no longer paid attention to her. After a while, the maid holding the sword looked back at the young man who was gradually disappearing. "What's wrong?" the girl in the red dress asked with an elegant voice. "Nothing. I just feel that the young man is a bit special. He was injured so badly, but still managed to come out of the Monster Beast mountain range alive." The maid holding the sword answered truthfully. Chapter 4. Kaoyang Ancient City, Lin Family Mansion. Now that Jiayu's family was ruined, he could only go to the Lin family. The Lin family was one of the 3 great families in Kaoyang Ancient City, and their influence was on par with the Chen family. A year ago, in order to share the burden of the family, he ran to the Lin family to become a servant and listen to orders. He could also stay here. However, he didn't want to stay here any longer. He planned to find a new place to live because he was a servant in the Lin family and had to listen to orders at any time. How could he accept this? However, as one of the three great families, the Lin family had a great reputation in Kaohsiung ancient city and had detailed records of everyone in the mansion. If he left the Lin family without a word, it would be difficult for him to do anything in Kaohsiung ancient city in the future. Therefore, he came back to the Lin family this time to go through the procedures to leave the Lin family. Not long after, Jiayu came to a hall. A year ago, he was taken in by the Lin family here. If he wanted to go through the procedures to leave the Lin family, he had to go here as well. Of course, only solitary martial artists could go through the procedures. Members of the Lin family couldn't leave so easily. I want to go through the procedures to leave the Lin family, Jiayu said to an old man in front of him. The old man sized up Jiayu, and a hint of surprise flashed in his eyes. I remember that you came to my Lin clan a year ago, and now you've broken through to the 5th level of the body tempering stage. He could see that this young man's cultivation was at the 5th level of the body tempering stage. He remembered that when this young man first came to the Lin family, he was only at the 2nd level of the body tempering stage. It had only been a year, but his cultivation had improved so much. He couldn't help but be amazed by this young man's martial talent. His gaze gradually became more serious. However, the old man didn't know that this was Jiayu's cultivation that had just broken through today. Yes, Jiayu nodded slightly. He wasn't surprised that the old man could see through his cultivation. This was because he had heard that this old man's cultivation level was at least at the 5th level of the defensive profound realm. An expert with such strength could easily see through his true cultivation level. The old man thought for a moment and said, I think I know why you want to leave the Lin family. You probably don't want to continue being a servant in the Lin family. That's right, Jiayu replied. She couldn't help but sigh in her heart. This old man was quite smart. He had guessed the reason why he wanted to leave the Lin family immediately. Actually, you don't have to leave the Lin family. Now that your cultivation has reached the 5th level of the body tempering stage, I can raise your status to the same level as those ordinary disciples. Moreover, you won't be restricted by the Lin family. The old man said. It was because of this kind of talent that he wanted to keep in the Lin family. If it were an ordinary person, he wouldn't even bother to say a word. This attracted the attention of the surrounding people. Usually, the elders rarely spoke, giving them the impression that they were serious and taciturn. They rarely saw the elders speak so politely to others. They couldn't help but guess who this young man was. After hearing the old man's words, Jiayu thought for a moment and respectfully said, Then I'll have to trouble elder. The reason why he wanted to leave the Lin family was because he felt uncomfortable with the status of a servant. Since he could get rid of his status as a servant and not be restricted by the Lin family, there was nothing wrong with continuing to stay in the Lin family. Then, from today onwards, you are no longer a servant. If you encounter any trouble, this token can prove your identity. As he spoke, the old man took out a white token and gave it to Jiayu. Thank you, elder. After receiving the command medallion, Jiayu bowed and left the place. He returned to his residence. It was a very simple and ordinary house, but he was used to it. Jiayu turned around and closed the door. Then, she began to study the 999 times cultivation system. The 999 times cultivation system is so awesome. There should be many functions that I haven't discovered yet. Based on the current situation, walking can strengthen one's movement technique, one punch can strengthen one's fist technique, and 1 minute of cultivation can increase one's experience by 999 times. Then, according to reason, one kick can strengthen one's leg technique, one slap can strengthen one's palm technique, and so on. Jiayu muttered and tried to perform a high side kick. Chapter 5. Ding! Master kicked. Basic leg technique gained experience. 1999 times. Ding! Congratulations, Master. Basic leg technique has broken through to peak of perfection. Ding! Basic leg technique gained experience. Automatically upgraded to inferior yellow rank profound skill Tempest kick. Sure enough, as Jiayu expected, a casual kick was able to strengthen his leg technique by 9099 times. Just as he was about to continue experimenting, a series of soft knocks suddenly came from outside the door. Young master, the elder sent me to remind you that you can receive your salary today. Hearing the voice from outside the door, Jiayu immediately pulled his attention away from the system. I understand. Jiayu responded, and the person outside the door left. Not long after, Jiayu received some gold coins and 3 elixirs. This was the salary he could receive every month. Today just so happened to raise his status. Otherwise, as a servant in the past, he would not be able to receive anything. After returning to his room, Jiayu sat on the bed and looked at the 3 elixirs in his hand. These 3 elixirs were all gradeless elixirs, small strength pills. Although their value was not high, they were suitable for body-tempering stage martial artists to consume. I wonder if consuming these elixirs can also increase my experience by 9999 times. Jiayu pondered as he threw one of the small strength pills into his mouth. At this moment, the familiar sound of the system notification sounded. Ding! Master has consumed a small strength pill. Experience gained in martial arts cultivation, 19099x. Ding! Congratulations, Master! Martial cultivation has successfully broken through to the late stage of the 5th level of the body tempering stage. Feeling the surge of profound energy in his body and breaking through 2 stages, Jiayu was immediately overjoyed. He discovered that all the effects of the small strength pill were instantly absorbed by him, and he did not feel any discomfort. This should be the system's credit. Then, Jiayu simply swallowed the remaining 2 small strength pills together. After a moment, he originally thought that he could directly break through to the 6th level of the body tempering stage, but he was just a little bit short and stopped at the peak of the 5th level of the body tempering stage. However, he did not feel disappointed. He was very satisfied with the effects of the pills. Just 3 gradeless pills allowed him to break through 3 small realms in an instant. Jiayu thought to herself, tomorrow, I'll go to the Demon Beast mountain range to hunt more demon beasts. Although his strength was not bad now, there was still a big gap between him and the Chen family's eldest young master, Chen Yan. He remembered that Chen Yan's cultivation had reached the 9th level of the body tempering stage, and he possessed various yellow rank profound skills. If he were to encounter Chen Yan now, he would still be unable to contend against him. Therefore, he had to increase his cultivation as soon as possible. Currently, the fastest way to increase his cultivation was to consume pills, but pills were more expensive. With the gold coins he had on him right now, he couldn't buy many pills, so he had to go to the Demon Beast mountain range to hunt for more gold coins. 10 miles away from Kaoyang Ancient City, there was a place called the Monster Mountain Range. It was one of the most dangerous places in the entire Kanglin Empire. The Demon Beast mountain range, as its name suggested, contained many demon beasts and was extremely dangerous. However, other than demonic beasts, there were also all kinds of heaven and earth treasures. Therefore, many young talents chose to come here to train. Today, Jiayu changed into a clean white shirt and entered the Demon Beast mountain range again. Although the Demon Beast mountain range was very dangerous, it was divided into 3 areas: the outer area, the inner area, and the core area. The outer region was the outermost ring. Usually, there were some rank 1 monsters. Even rank 2 monsters were extremely rare. The danger level was relatively low. Jiayu was planning to only hunt monsters in the outer region this time. With my current strength, as long as I'm careful in the outer regions, there shouldn't be any major problems. Jiayu murmured and strode into the Monster Beast mountain range. As he walked, he suddenly sensed a strong demonic aura coming from not far away. His expression suddenly changed, and he looked in the direction of the demonic aura. After passing through a patch of grass, he saw a pack of crimson black demon wolves resting there. There were about a dozen of them. Jiayu could tell at a glance that these crimson black demon wolves were all rank 1/3 to rank 4 demonic beasts. They were not much of a threat to him. Without much hesitation, he directly used the movement technique, high wind steps, and rushed over. Chapter 6. Ding! Master used soaring wind steps. Soaring wind steps gained experience, 2999 times. Ding! Master used inch strength fist. Inch strength fist gained experience, 2999 times. First, the inch strength fist killed a crimson black demon wolf, and the movement immediately woke up the rest of the crimson black demon wolves. When they saw their companion killed, they all let out a low roar, which was to warn Jiayu. However, Jiayu completely ignored the warning of the crimson black demon wolf and rushed to the second crimson black demon wolf without stopping. The third, the fourth. In less than 10 minutes, the last crimson black demon wolf was also killed by Jiayu with 1 punch. After killing all the crimson black demon wolves, His soaring wind steps and inch-strength fist had also grown to the point of perfection. Then, after harvesting all the valuable materials on the crimson-black demon wolves' corpses, Jiayu continued to move forward. Half a day later, in the Demon Beast mountain range, Jiayu stood on the corpse of a demon beast that was beyond recognition, and he carried a heavy sack on his shoulder. In this half a day, he hunted a lot of demon beasts, and as long as there were valuable materials, he put them into the big sack. Because the big sack was full and couldn't hold anything more, he planned to go out and sell this sack of demon beast materials first. This is too troublesome. Let's see if I can get a storage ring. Jiayu thought. If he had to carry a big sack every time he came to hunt demon beasts, and he had to go out and empty the sack from time to time, it would be too troublesome. At this time, he needed a small thing called a storage ring. The small storage ring had its own space, and almost anything could be put in it, and it was very convenient to use. It was just that the price of a storage ring was relatively expensive, and he wasn't sure if he could buy it. No matter what, let's go and clean up these demon beast materials first. Jiayu muttered to himself as he walked toward the exit of the Demon Beast mountain range. While walking, the system had been constantly strengthening his movement technique. Jiayu felt that his movement technique, soaring wind steps, would be strengthened to perfection soon, and he was very curious if the strengthened, soaring wind steps would still be upgraded. After a long time, Jiayu walked out of the Demon Beast mountain range and came to the town she had been to before. It was still the same grocery store.
At this time,
The shopkeeper was taking a nap. Suddenly, he saw someone carrying a large gunny sack walk in. Sensing that business was coming, he instantly woke up. Taking a closer look, he realized that it was the young man who had come again yesterday. The shopkeeper couldn't help but feel surprised. In less than a day, he had already collected so many materials. Selling materials. Jiayu placed the big sack in front of the shopkeeper and said coldly, "All right." The shopkeeper couldn't wait to open the sack. Immediately, the smell of blood rushed to his heart, but he seemed to be used to it. He didn't even frown. Because the sack was stuffed to the brim, some demonic beast materials fell out when it was opened. The shopkeeper looked at the countless demonic beast materials, his eyes filled with surprise. He couldn't help but ask the young man in front of him, "So many demonic beast materials. Did you hunt them all by yourself?" Jiayu nodded slightly without any expression on her face. Hiss. The shopkeeper couldn't help but suck in a breath of cold air. According to the estimation of these demonic beast materials, the young man in front of him had hunted at least 20 or 30 first-ranked demonic beasts, and it only took him one day. To have such strength at such a young age, he was probably a genius of a big family. Thinking of this, the shopkeeper suddenly became respectful. These demonic beast materials are worth a total of 670 gold coins. I'll give you 700 gold coins, how about it? He took out a large bag of gold coins from under the counter and waited for the young man in front of him to agree. Okay. Jiayu nodded. The price was reasonable, and he was given a few extra gold coins, so he naturally accepted it. The shopkeeper immediately handed the large bag of gold coins to Jiayu, and then asked, "Then, besides selling these materials, does young master want to buy anything else?" Jiayu said. "Do you have a storage ring here? How much is the price?" "I do have a storage ring. Does young master want a cheaper one or a more expensive one?" The shopkeeper was ready to take out a storage ring to show Jiayu. Chapter 7. A few minutes later, a man wearing a black robe that covered his face walked out of the grocery store. It was Jiayu. In addition to spending 300 gold coins to purchase an inferior first-grade storage ring, he also bought a black robe. He checked the storage ring with his spiritual power and found that it was about the size of a thatched cottage. As for why he bought the black robe, it was because he was not strong enough to fight against Chen Yan, so it was necessary to hide his identity. Jiayu walked back to Kaoyang Ancient City. He did not plan to go back to the Lin Mansion, but to the place where he could trade pills. Not long after, a magnificent building appeared in front of Jiayu. This building was called the Kaoyang Branch. It was a branch of the Alchemy Guild. It was also the place where pills were traded in Kaoyang Ancient City. In this world, there was a rather special profession called the alchemist. They were able to refine all kinds of pills that were similar to pills. There were many types of medicinal pills. There were medicinal pills that could assist in cultivation, medicinal pills that could restore Xuan Kai, medicinal pills that could heal injuries, and so on. Pills were so magical that the Alchemy Guild had always had a high status. They were special existences that all the major forces were willing to pay a price to recruit. However, not everyone could become an alchemy guild. To be precise, there was less than 1 in 10,000 people who could become an alchemy guild. To become a well-respected alchemy guild, one had to have strong spiritual power and talent in alchemy. The Kaoyang branch in front of him was a branch of the alchemy guild that was set up for all the alchemy guild in Kaoyang ancient city. As for why it was called a branch, it was because the alchemy guild was located in all the ancient cities in the Kanglan Empire. However, the main branch only existed in the imperial city of the Kanglan Empire. The rest of the branches could only be considered branches. Speaking of which, it would be great if I could become an alchemy guild. Jaiyu could not help but sigh as he looked at the alchemy guild branch in front of him. If he could become an alchemist, there would be many benefits to him. Most importantly, he would be able to refine pills for himself to consume. Coupled with the system's 999 times cultivation speed, his cultivation would soar as if he was on a plane. However, he was still self-aware, and this kind of laughable thought quickly sank in his heart. It wasn't that he hadn't tried to come into contact with the Tao of Alchemy before, but at that time, whenever he saw the Tao of Alchemy in those books, his eyes would become dizzy and he wouldn't be able to absorb it at all. Even if he gritted his teeth and continued to study, he wouldn't be able to comprehend it at all. It could be said that his talent in alchemy was almost as mediocre as his talent in martial arts. He had no chance of becoming an alchemist at all. Jaiyu shook her head in self-mockery. Not wanting to think about these messy matters anymore, she quickly walked into the Alchemist Guild. The reason why he specially came here to trade for medicinal pills was because there were many black-hearted stores that sold defective or fake goods. He didn't want to be cheated, so it was best to come here to buy medicinal pills. However, at this moment, a commotion suddenly came from behind. You Yushian actually appeared? Where? That beautiful woman is Yushian. Who would have thought that I would actually be able to see the alchemy genius Yushian with my own eyes today? I heard that there's going to be an alchemy class soon, and the lecturer is this young lady Yu. Otherwise, why would we be able to see her so easily? Hearing the commotion coming from the surroundings, Jaiyu subconsciously turned around to take a look. He saw a beautiful woman in a white dress with exquisite features appear in the crowd. She was like the moon surrounded by stars, but the beautiful woman's expression was still cold. Jaiyu found out that this beautiful woman was called Yushian from the words of the people around him. Although he had never seen this woman before, he recalled her identity as soon as he heard her name. The daughter of the Kaoyang branch's president, the #1 alchemy genius in Kaoyang ancient city, and a rare genius that only appeared once in 100 years. These were all Yushian's reputation. Jaiyu had stayed in Kaoyang ancient city for so many years, so he naturally heard of such a famous beauty. However, he only took a few glances and didn't continue to pay attention to Yushian. He admitted that this was the most beautiful woman he had ever seen in this world, but he was bent on revenge and vowed to kill Chen Yan. After all, he and Yushian were not in the same world. Jaiyu turned around calmly and continued to walk into the Kaoyang branch. On the other hand, Yushian completely ignored the gazes and noises around her. She looked straight ahead and happened to see Jaiyu standing at the entrance of the Kaoyang branch. Jaiyu glanced at her and turned around, which seemed to have attracted her attention. Chapter 8. Jaiyu walked into the Kaoyang branch and came to a hall. This was his first time in the Kaoyang branch, so he wasn't familiar with the place. Thus, he wandered around to see how he could buy pills. Not long after he wandered around, a pretty young woman called out to him, "Is there anything I can help you with?" Because Jaiyu was wearing a black robe, the young woman couldn't see his face clearly. Of course, she didn't know that he was still a teenager. Jaiyu glanced at the young woman and felt that she should be the receptionist of the Kaoyang branch. Then, he replied in a low voice, "I want to buy some pills." Hearing that he was here to buy pills, the receptionist was delighted and her attitude became more respectful. "Then I will lead the way for you." "Okay." Jaiyu nodded slightly and followed behind the receptionist. Not long after, Jaiyu followed the receptionist to an area with a lot of people. The function of the Alchemist Guild wasn't just to trade pills. There were many other functions other than that. Thus, there was a need for a special area to trade pills with customers. "Mister, this is the area for trading pills." The receptionist smiled respectfully. "Oh right, our Kaoyang branch will be holding an alchemy class soon. It will be taught by Miss Yushian. If you are interested, you can spend 1,000 gold coins in these 2 days to get the qualification to attend the alchemy class for free. Alchemy class? That's interesting. Jai thought for a moment and nodded. I understand. I will see how it goes. In fact, he was already tempted. Since it was a free qualification, why not give it a try? It wasn't difficult for him to accumulate 1,000 gold coins. Although he only had about 400 gold coins left, he just needed to go to the Demon Beast mountain range again, and he would be able to earn the rest of the gold coins he was lacking. After that, Jai began to look for pills. He came to a small area that specialized in trading Tier 1 pills. All the counters in this area were filled with Tier 1 pills. However, first-grade medicinal pills were also divided into 3 grades: low grade, medium grade, and high grade. Low grade was the lowest, while high grade was the highest. Due to the high price of medicinal pills, Jai could only buy some low-grade medicinal pills with the 400 gold coins she currently had. May I ask what kind of pills Mr. needs? A woman in charge of this counter walked over and asked in a respectful tone. Just give me a few low-grade Tier 1 medicinal pills that can help with my cultivation. Jai said after pondering for a moment. All right. The woman immediately searched under the counter and found a small jade bottle with exquisite craftsmanship. She placed it in front of Jai and introduced. This is the most commonly seen quenching body pill used to assist in cultivation. It's a first-grade pill. Please take a look. Young master. Jai took the jade bottle and pinched the stopper open to take a look. He found a total of 4 pellet-sized quenching body pills inside. He then asked, "What's the price?" This bottle of quenching body pills is sold for 400 gold coins. The woman replied. Jai was silent for a moment. His face hidden under the black robe had a slight bitter smile. However, he still took out a large bag of gold coins from his storage ring and handed it to the woman. There's a total of 400 gold coins in here. Happy transaction. Thank you, mister. The woman respectfully bowed. After that, Jai left the pill trading area. Buying a bottle of quenching body pills cost him 400 gold coins. Now that he didn't have many gold coins left, he naturally didn't need to continue to stay in the pill trading area. Jai walked towards the exit while looking at the bottle of pills in his hand. Such a small bottle only contained 4 quenching body pills. In other words, 1 quenching body pill would cost 100 gold coins. This made him feel somewhat pain. Fortunately, he had the 999x cultivation system. These 4 quenching body pills should be able to increase his cultivation by a lot. What kind of realm would he be able to reach? Jai endured the anticipation in his heart and quickly walked out of the Kaoyang branch. Under normal circumstances, even if he only took 1 quenching body pill, with the 999x cultivation system support, he would be able to break through in an instant. Although the quenching body realm's breakthrough wouldn't cause much of a commotion, he didn't want to break through in a place like the Kaoyang branch where there were so many eyes. Not long after, Jai walked into a deserted alley and prepared to take the quenching body pill. He sat on a stone bench and opened the jade bottle. He poured out a quenching body pill and impatiently swallowed it. Chapter 9. Ding! Master has consumed a body tempering pill. Martial Dao experience gained. 1d999 times. Ding! Congratulations, Master. Martial Dao cultivation has successfully broken through to the middle stage of the 6th level of the body tempering stage. Jai's eyes flashed with surprise. The body tempering pill actually increased his experience by so much. Not only did it allow him to break through to the 6th level of the body tempering stage, but it also allowed him to reach the middle stage. If I consume the remaining 3 body tempering pills, my martial Dao cultivation will at least break through to the 7th level of the body tempering stage. With anticipation in his heart, Jai directly stuffed the remaining 3 body tempering pills into his mouth. Ordinary people wouldn't dare to do what he did. He only dared to do so because he clearly knew that the pills didn't have any negative effects on him. Ding! Master has consumed a body tempering pill. Martial Dao experience gained. 1d99 times. Ding! Congratulations, Master. Martial Dao cultivation has successfully broken through to the middle stage of the 7th level of the body tempering stage. The 3 body tempering pills successfully converted to 999 times the experience. Jai's martial Dao cultivation directly jumped 5 stages. breaking through from the middle stage of the 6th level of the body tempering stage to the middle stage of the 7th level of the body tempering stage in one go. Such an awesome effect could be said to have exceeded his expectations. Next, I'll continue to hunt demonic beasts in the Demon Beast Mountain Range to earn gold coins. As long as I don't slack off, relying on this 999 times cultivation system, I'll probably be able to reach the defensive profound realm in less than 7 days. Jiayu muttered to himself. Once he broke through to the defensive profound realm, it meant that he had enough strength to take revenge on Chen Yan. 1 day later, in the Demon Beast Mountain Range. During this entire day, Jiayu madly searched for demonic beasts to hunt. With the fastest efficiency, he hunted 39 demonic beasts. At this moment, he was currently hunting 40 demonic beasts. Ding! Congratulations, Master! Inferior yellow rank profound skill soaring wind steps has successfully broken through to the peak of perfection. Ding! Congratulations, Master! Inferior yellow rank profound skill inch force fist has successfully broken through to the peak of perfection. Ding! Detected inferior yellow rank profound skill soaring wind steps has reached perfection. Automatically upgraded to intermediate yellow rank profound skill soaring cloud steps. Ding! It has been detected that the low yellow rank profound skill 1-inch punch has reached perfection and has been automatically upgraded to the middle yellow rank profound skill 7 punch. After killing the demonic beast in front of him with a single punch, Jiayu instantly heard a series of system notifications. He couldn't help but freeze in place. Automatically leveled up again? The 9099X cultivation system gave him another surprise. In the mysterious heavenly mainland, there was a clear classification of mystical skills. From the weakest to the strongest, they were divided into 4 grades: yellow, mysterious, earth, and heaven. These 4 grades were further divided into 3 levels: lower, middle, and upper. Legend had it that there were even higher level mystical skills above the heaven rank. However, with his current knowledge, he had no way of knowing about them. After all, the highest level mystical skill in the entire ancient city of the rising sun was only a medium profound rank mystical skill. From the looks of it, it won't be long before it can automatically upgrade to a profound rank or even an earth rank profound skill. Jiayu was very excited. The ability of the 999X cultivation system was too awesome. After cutting off the valuable materials from the demonic beast's corpse, Jiayu put them into his storage ring. This is the 40th demonic beast. It's about time for me to go back, Jiayu muttered to himself as he walked out of the demonic beast mountain range. In fact, the storage ring could still hold a lot of things. However, he had to accumulate 1,000 gold coins in the Kaoyang branch in order to qualify for the free alchemy class. Today was the last day, so he had to go back first. Chapter 10. After leaving the demonic beast mountain range, Jiayu sold all the demonic beast materials and obtained a total of 1,300 gold coins. Adding the gold coins he had left from before, he now had 1,400 gold coins. After returning to the Kaoyang branch, he bought 3 bottles of body tempering pills in the elixir trading area, spending a total of 1,200 gold coins. Jiayu thought for a moment and bought 2 more profound recovery pills. He didn't have much gold coins left. Profound recovery pills were a type of low-grade first-rank elixir. Its effect was to recover Xuan Kai. In the demonic beast mountain range, he frequently used Xuan Kai and needed to rest for a while to recover his Xuan Kai after killing a few demonic beasts. Now that he had mastered a high-grade yellow rank intermediate rank Xuan skill, the amount of Xuan Kai required to use it would be much higher than a low-grade yellow rank intermediate rank Xuan skill. Therefore, he had to prepare 2 profound recovery pills for emergency use. Mister, you've already spent more than 1,000 gold coins. This is a token. When the alchemy class starts tomorrow afternoon, Mr. can bring this token to the class. At this moment, the receptionist he saw last time walked over. She held a token in her hand and handed it to Jiayu. Jiayu took the token and put it in his pocket, then left the Kaoyang branch. This time, Jiayu planned to enter the demonic beast mountain range directly and start using pills to increase his cultivation. The alchemy class would only start tomorrow at the Kaoyang branch. Taking advantage of this time, he planned to continue tempering himself in the demonic beast mountain range. Jiayu walked to the outskirts of the demonic beast mountain range and sat down. He took off the black robe on his head and took out the 3 bottles of body tempering pills from his storage ring. There were a total of 12 body tempering pills in the 3 jade bottles. He felt that if he consumed these 12 body-tempering pills, he would be able to fly into the sky. Without thinking, he stuffed one pill after another into his mouth as if he was eating candy. Ding! Congratulations, Master! Your cultivation has successfully broken through to the late stage of the 8th level of the body tempering stage. After continuously consuming 12 body tempering pills, Jayu's cultivation base directly rose from the middle of the 7th level of the body tempering stage to the late stage of the 8th level of the body tempering stage. He increasingly felt that breaking through cultivation was as easy as eating and drinking tea. As long as he had enough gold coins to buy medicinal pills, he could easily break through. Who told him to have 999 times experience multiplier? After that, Jayu began to hunt demonic beasts to earn gold coins. However, he had only taken a few steps when he heard the sound of an intense battle not far in front of him. He curiously walked up to take a look and saw a young girl in a pink dress, holding a thin sword and fighting with a huge black bear. This black bear, Jayu's expression changed slightly. This was a brute force black bear. The brute force black bear was not only extremely powerful, but its speed was also extraordinary. Human martial artists of the same realm would not be able to gain the slightest advantage in front of the brute force black bear. It was one of the more difficult existences to deal with among the rank 1 monster beasts. The brute force black bear in front of him looked like it had just reached adulthood. Its cultivation base was around the 7th level of the rank 1 monster beasts, close to the 8th level of the rank 1 monster beasts. Although the young girl in pink's cultivation had reached the 8th level of the body tempering stage, she was obviously at a disadvantage. She was constantly suppressed by the brute force black bear and was unable to escape. Zhang Yuixin resisted the brute force black bear's huge paw with all her might. Her heart was extremely vexed. She felt that her luck was really too bad today. She had just entered the Demon Beast mountain range, and she had already encountered such a difficult brute force black bear. It was fine if she couldn't win, but this brute force black bear's speed was extremely fast. She couldn't escape even if she wanted to, so she could only continue to fight with this brute force black bear. However, there wasn't much profound Kai left in her body. She would soon die here. With every second that passed, Zhang Yuixin became more and more anxious. She didn't want to die in this place. At this moment, she suddenly saw a black figure from the corner of her eyes. She immediately turned her head to look and saw a youth in a black robe standing there. Zhang Yuixin instantly seemed to have grabbed onto a life-saving straw. She shouted loudly, "Hey, you over there, quickly come and help me." Chapter 11. The black-robed youth was naturally Jayu, but he acted as if he didn't hear anything. Not only did he ignore Zhang Yuixin, he even turned around and walked away. It wasn't that he was cold-blooded and heartless, but the girl's commanding tone made him feel very uncomfortable. It gave him a strong feeling of superiority. This kind of person was probably some family's rude and unreasonable young lady. Why should he go and save such a thankless person? Seeing that the black-robed youth was about to leave, Zhang Yuixin immediately became anxious and shouted, "I am the second young lady of the city lord's manor. My father is the city lord of Kaoyang Ancient City. How dare you not listen to me?" Jayu couldn't help but laugh. Not only did this girl order him, she even wanted to threaten him. However, he didn't show any signs of turning around. Instead, his footsteps became faster and faster. Zhang Yuixin was infuriated by this scene. At this time, the brute force black bear slapped her again, causing her to stagger back a few steps. She finally couldn't hold back her pride and cried out, You bastard, hurry up and save me. I will give you a lot of rewards as long as you save me." Hearing the girl in pink sobbing, Jayu finally stopped in her tracks. He turned around to look at the girl in pink and asked indifferently, "What rewards?" Originally, he didn't want to bother with this girl, but if this girl could give a suitable reward, he might be able to help. When Jayu said this, Zhang Yuixin almost fainted from anger. At this time, this guy didn't hurry to save her and still had the mood to ask for rewards. However, seeing that the brute force black bear was about to close in again, Zhang Yuixin couldn't care less and hurriedly said, 1,000 gold coins. No, 5,000 gold coins. As long as you save me, I will give you 5,000 gold coins." As Zhang Yuixin was focused on talking to Jayu, she didn't notice the bear's paw coming towards her. When she came back to her senses, it was too late. Looking at the huge bear paw in front of her, her eyes were filled with panic and despair. At this moment, she wanted to curse the black-robed youth countless times in her heart. At the same time, the corners of Jia-Yu's mouth curled up slightly. Deal. Before his voice died away, his figure had already disappeared from the spot. In the next moment, he appeared in front of Zhang Yuixin and extended a hand to block the brute force black bear's huge paw. Ding! Master used Soaring Cloud Steps. Soaring Cloud Steps experience gained. 5999X. This was Jia-Yu's first time using the intermediate yellow rank Soaring Cloud Steps. The speed of the Soaring Cloud Steps did not disappoint him at all. Zhang Yuixin looked at Jia-Yu, who had suddenly appeared in front of her. Her delicate face couldn't help but reveal a trace of shock. This guy's speed was actually so fast. However, she quickly reacted and realized that he actually wanted to block the brute force black bear's attack with his bare hands. She immediately wanted to scold this guy for being an idiot. She originally thought that this guy could save her, but in the end, he was a brainless idiot. He actually dared to fight the brute force black bear with his bare hands. Wasn't this courting death? At the same time, the brute force black bear's face changed slightly. It was as if it wanted to laugh at this human in front of it for overestimating himself. In the next moment, Jia-Yu's palm instantly clenched into a fist. Ding! Master used 7 Strength Fist. 7 Strength Fist experience gained. 59099X. Jia-Yu's thin and small fist collided with the brute force black bear's huge paw, creating a huge contrast. However, the thin and small fist actually pierced through the huge paw, opening a fist-sized hole in the middle of the paw. Blood immediately sputtered out. Jia-Yu's eyes flashed slightly. He quickly used Soaring Cloud Steps to avoid the blood splattering out. Ding! Congratulations, Master! The intermediate yellow rank mystical skill Soaring Cloud Steps has successfully broken through to minor accomplishment. In the blink of an eye, Jia-Yu appeared a few meters away. There wasn't a single trace of blood on his body. Zhang Yuixin was standing behind Jia-Yu. After Jia-Yu dodged, the brute force black bear's blood directly splashed onto her body, causing her pink dress to become extremely bright. However, she was already stunned by the scene that just happened. She didn't even realize that her body was covered in blood. She didn't dare to believe what she just saw. This seemingly weak young man actually pierced through the brute force black bear's paw with his bare hands. What kind of terrifying strength was required to do this? If it was her, not to mention her bare hands, even if she used the sword in her hand to slash at the brute force black bear, it would be very difficult to cause any effective damage to the brute force black bear. At most, she would only be able to create a wound that was neither deep nor shallow. Roar, roar, roar! Right at this moment, a furious roar suddenly woke her up. She saw that the brute force black bear in front of her had become extremely berserk. The intense pain caused it to enter a berserk state. Its eyes also became scarlet red. Zhang Yuixin temporarily couldn't care about the smell of blood on her body. Her first reaction was to quickly retreat. Right now, she couldn't withstand the attacks of the berserk brute force black bear at all. Jia-Yu, who was standing a few meters away, couldn't help but frown. This brute force black bear actually mutated. This isn't going to be good. A berserk wild beast was the most terrifying. Not only did it not know pain, its battle strength also increased greatly. Jia-Yu carefully considered for a moment and decided to retreat. This was because he didn't have much confidence in being able to solve this situation. He flashed to Zhang Yuixin's side and grabbed Zhang Yuixin's wrist to escape. Ah! Zhang Yuixin suddenly felt her wrist being grabbed by someone and couldn't help but cry out in alarm. Chapter 12. The violent brute force black bear roared as it chased after him. There was only one thought in its mind, and that was to tear the human in front of it into pieces. Seeing the brute force black bear chasing after him, Jia-Yu planned to continuously use Soaring Cloud Steps until he completely shook off the brute force black bear. After Jia-Yu continuously used Soaring Cloud Steps several times, he finally shook off the brute force black bear completely. At the same time, Soaring Cloud Steps also improved to the mastery realm. He let out a sigh of relief and gradually slowed down his footsteps. He couldn't help but rejoice that Soaring Cloud Steps had broken through to the intermediate realm. Otherwise, he wouldn't have been able to shake off the brute force black bear so easily. Hurry up and let go of me. At this time, a delicate and angry voice sounded. Jia-Yu only felt that something in his hand was forcibly breaking free. It hurts. Zhang Yuixin rubbed her reddened wrist. Her eyes were foggy, and she was almost about to cry. She said coquettishly, "Really, you bastard don't know how to be tender to a woman." If I was tender to a woman, you would have died just now, Jai said expressionlessly. I know, you're so inflexible, Jong Yuixin complained. Just as Jai was about to leave, he suddenly thought of something. He immediately stretched out a hand in front of Jong Yuixin. What are you doing? Jong Yuixin didn't react for a moment. Do you even need to ask? Of course it's a reward, Jai said indifferently. Reward? At this time, Jong Yuixin finally understood what Jai meant. She lowered her head slightly and asked in a deep voice, You saved me purely for the reward. Yes. Jai only spat out 2 words. At this time, Jong Yuixin's mood was a little complicated. As the second miss of the city lord's mansion, she had been worshipped since she was young. No one dared to disrespect her. If it had been anyone else, they would have risked their lives to save her in that situation. However, the black-robed youth in front of him had done it purely for the sake of the 5,000 gold coins. Jong Yuixin reckoned that if she hadn't mentioned the reward at that time, this young man would definitely have left without even looking at her. His life was not as valuable as 5,000 gold coins. Jong Yuixin was silent for a while before she said, I don't like to bring too many things with me when I go out, so I only have 3,000 gold coins on me right now. I can only give you 3,000 gold coins first. As she spoke, she took out a few bags of gold coins from her storage ring. Sure. Jai kept the bags of gold into her storage ring and continued. But you have to write me an IU for the remaining 2,000 gold coins. You rascal! Jong Yuixin was so angry that her shoulders trembled slightly. She was the dignified second miss of the city lord's mansion. How could she owe a mere 2,000 gold coins? However, she could only comply with the other party's wishes for the time being and write him an IU. This guy's strength was higher than hers, and this was the Monster Beast mountain range. She felt that, with this guy's character, there was nothing he wouldn't dare to do. Jai took the IU and glanced at it. When he saw the name, Jong Yuixin, he remembered that this girl seemed to have said that she was the second miss of the city lord's mansion before. You are the second miss of the city lord's mansion, so your sister is the number 1 genius, Jai asked. Yes, my sister is the number 1 genius of martial arts in Kaoyang Ancient City, Jong Yuechu. Suddenly, Jong Yuixin smiled slyly and said, What's wrong? You suddenly asked about my sister. Are you interested in her? Do you think it's possible? Jai's expression didn't change at all, and he said lightly. After that, he turned around and left directly. The reward was about to be paid, so he should leave. Seeing this, Jong Yuixin was stunned at first. Then she shouted, Wait, don't leave so quickly. What else do you want? Jai looked back at Jong Yuixin and said. Didn't you see this? Jong Yuixin instinctively almost said, This lady. But she realized this guy's character and quickly changed her words. Didn't you see that I have no strength now? So, Jai asked. This bastard. Jong Yuixin was angry and anxious, but she felt very embarrassed to say it directly, so she stammered, So, I want you to take me out of here. This was the first time that she took the initiative to ask for help from others, and she had never been treated like this before. It was really annoying. Sorry, I don't want to take a burden, and I don't plan to leave the Monster Beast mountain range so early. After that, Jai ignored Jong Yuixin and walked forward by himself. Jong Yuixin was so angry that she stamped her feet. This bastard was so ungentlemanly. She had already asked for so much, but this bastard not only didn't help, but also said that she was a burden. But although she was angry, Jong Yuixin still didn't want to die in this place, so she could only follow Jai silently. There was almost no Kai left in her body now, and she could lose her life if she met any monster, so she had no choice but to follow this bastard. She didn't stay idle and kept cursing this bastard behind Jai. Chapter 13. Jai had long noticed that Jong Yuixin was shamelessly following behind him, but he still completely ignored her and focused on hunting the demonic beasts. Soon, they encountered a first-grade 6th-stage demonic snake, but it was instantly killed by Jai with a single punch. Ding! Master used 7 Strength Fist. 7 Strength Fist obtained experience. 59.99x. Ding! Congratulations, Master. The yellow rank intermediate profound skill 7 Strength Fist has successfully broken through to initial success. Once again witnessing a demonic beast being killed by Jai's bare hands, Jong Yuixin still felt extremely shocked. She felt that this guy either had a powerful physical strength, or he knew some kind of powerful fist technique. At the same time, she was very curious about this guy's cultivation. "How high is your cultivation?" Jong Yuixin couldn't help but ask. "Just a little higher than yours." Jia glanced at Jong Yuixin and said indifferently. Hearing Jiayu's reply, Jong Yuixin guessed that this guy must be a genius from some family, but she had never heard of a genius from a family with such a rigid personality. Jiayu continued to look for demonic beasts to kill, while Jong Yuixin silently followed behind him. After that, another 7-strength fist killed a demonic beast. Jiayu felt that the Xuan Kai in his body had already dried up. He immediately sat on a rock, took out a Xuan Kai pill from his storage ring, and stuffed it into his mouth. Ding! Master has consumed an inferior grade first-grade pill Xuan Kai pill. The Xuan Kai recovery effect has increased by 999 times. The recovery effect of the Xuan Kai recovery effect was actually increased by 999 times. This was out of Jiayu's expectations. He only felt that the Xuan Kai in his body had instantly recovered to its peak state. "Did you just eat a Xuan Kai pill?" At this time, Jong Yuixin came over and asked. Seeing the hope in Jong Yuixin's eyes, Jiayu vaguely had a bad premonition. "This has nothing to do with you. You must have more Xuan Kai pills. Can you give me one?" Jiayu didn't answer, but Jong Yuixin directly insisted that it was a Xuan Kai pill. "No, I only have one Xuan Kai pill left. How can I give it to you?" Jiayu somewhat helplessly shook his head. "TCH, stingy." Jong Yuixin snorted and stopped pestering him about the profound returning pill. She knew that it was useless to continue pestering this guy. Ding! Congratulations, Master, for successfully breaking through to the mastery level of the intermediate yellow rank 7-strength fist. Along the way, Jiayu relied on the 7-strength fist to kill many demonic beasts, and the 7-strength fist gradually broke through to the next realm. Jong Yuixin saw Jiayu cut off the materials of the demonic beast's corpse every time he killed one. She couldn't help but ask, "Do you keep killing demonic beasts to earn gold coins?" "Yes." Jiayu nodded. "Which family are you from? What's your name?" Jong Yuixin asked. "Lin family, a nobody." Jiayu casually said. He basically had no scruples now, and there was nothing to hide. "Lin family? And what do you mean by a nobody?" Jong Yuixin naturally knew of the Lin family, one of the 3 great families, but she couldn't understand why he called himself a nobody. Her martial arts talent was one of the best in Kaoyang Ancient City, and this guy was obviously much stronger than her, but he called himself a nobody. Then what was she? "It's the literal meaning," Jiayu said indifferently. "Forget it. I guess you just don't want to say it." Jong Yuixin didn't ask anymore. Jiayu only took a few steps before he said to Jong Yuixin, "Say, how long are you going to stay with me? I'm going to spend the night here." "Huh? You're going to spend the night here?" Jong Yuixin was shocked. She had endured long enough, and the smell of blood made her feel very uncomfortable. This guy actually planned to spend the night here? Suddenly, Jong Yuixin had an idea and said, "Wait, don't you still have a mystic recovery pill? Give me that mystic recovery pill, and I'll give you this." She took out an incense burner from her storage ring and gently placed it on the ground. "What is this?" Looking at the incense burner, Jiayu asked curiously. "This is a special incense burner. It can attract nearby demon beasts by relying on internal Kai, but it can only be used once." "What do you think?" Jong Yuixin explained. This incense burner was naturally brought out by her from the mansion, and its value was not particularly expensive. Although the value of the Mystic Recovery Pill was far less than this incense burner, the Mystic Recovery Pill could give her the power to protect herself, but the incense burner couldn't. Now that she was in a hurry, she had to reluctantly give up this incense burner. "Deal." Jiayu immediately took out the remaining Mystic Recovery Pill from her storage ring and exchanged it with Jong Yuixin. Jang Yuixin didn't say anything, directly swallowed the Mystic Recovery Pill, and sat down with her eyes closed. She just wanted to recover her internal Kai as soon as possible and leave the Demon Beast mountain range. After half an hour, Jong Yuixin slowly opened her eyes, and the internal Kai in her body had recovered by more than half. However, at this time, she found that the black-robed youth had left at some point. Recalling the black-robed youth's attitude towards her, Jong Yuixin couldn't help but lightly clench her teeth. "This bastard, this young lady will definitely find you, and when the time comes, I'll let my sister take care of you." Humph. Chapter 14. The next morning, in the demonic beast mountain range. Jai, you had been hunting demonic beasts in the outskirts of the demonic beast mountain range and had killed quite a few demonic beasts overnight. The alchemy class is in the afternoon. Let's go back now. Jai, you left the demonic beast mountain range on foot and returned to the Kaoyang branch. Ding! Congratulations, Master. The mid-yellow rank profound skill soaring cloud steps has successfully broken through to the perfection stage. Jai's soaring cloud steps had also broken through to the perfection stage by the time he reached the Kaoyang branch. As long as it broke through again, the mid-yellow rank soaring cloud steps would be able to upgrade to a high yellow rank profound skill. Just as he entered the hall, the female receptionist from before came to greet him. Under the lead of the female receptionist, Jai Yu arrived at a spacious classroom. At this time, there were already quite a few people sitting in the classroom. These were all young men and women dressed luxuriously, most likely young masters and young mistresses of some power. Jai Yu walked in wearing a black robe. Even if he didn't deliberately hide his face, he still attracted quite a few people's attention. After all, his dressing was still a bit strange. He casually glanced at the people around him, thinking that there were definitely people from the Chen clan among them. But he didn't care, because with his current strength, no one under the defensive profound realm could compare to him. Even if Chen Yan was present, he wouldn't be able to do anything to him. Then, Jai Yu casually found an empty seat under the podium and sat down, waiting for the alchemy class to begin. Not long after, the classroom gradually became noisy, as if some big shot had appeared. Isn't that the young master of the Lin family, Lin Kishan? He's also interested in alchemy. How is that possible? Don't you know that young Master Lin is interested in Yushian? He must be here for Yushian. That's right, Lin Kishan is the #1 martial arts genius of the Lin family. He wouldn't waste time learning alchemy. This time, it just so happens that young Mistress Yushian is personally teaching, so he's here.
Jai, you also recognize this Lin Kishan.
After all, he had worked as a handyman for the Lin family for a year. There was no way he hadn't heard of who the young master of the Lin family was. This person had outstanding talent and was one of the best in the entire Kaoyang ancient city. It was said that his current martial cultivation was almost the same as Chen Yan's. They were both at body tempering stage 9 perfection and were one step away from entering the defensive profound realm. Lin Kishan acted like he was superior to everyone else. He didn't even look at anyone as if they weren't qualified to be looked at by him. Seeing Lin Kishan's expression, Jai Yu shook his head. At first, he thought that it was some kind of big shot, but in the end, it was just like that. But for some reason, Lin Kishan walked straight towards him. Kid, this position belongs to this young master. Hearing Lin Kishan's order, Jai Yu frowned. What's wrong with this guy? Jai Yu suddenly felt a little baffled. She was sitting here perfectly fine, so why did Lin Qiyun come to find trouble with her? This young master will say it again. This position belongs to this young master. This time, Lin Kishan's tone wasn't just an order, but also a threat. It was as if Jai Yu didn't move away, he wouldn't be polite to Jai Yu. Seeing this happen, the surrounding people began to whisper to each other. This guy is really pitiful. Coincidentally or not, he's sitting in the seat under the podium. Yeah, that's the first row, right under the podium. Lin Kishan definitely won't let go of that seat for Yushian. This guy still hasn't moved away. Lin Kishan's methods are not a joke. Many people began to mourn for Jai Yu. However, Jai Yu didn't have the slightest fear. She coldly looked at Lin Kishan and smiled. What if I don't? As soon as Jai Yu's words came out, there was an uproar. This guy actually dares to provoke Lin Kishan. I originally felt some sympathy for him, but I didn't expect him to be an idiot. This kid is finished. He dares to offend the young master of the Lin family. I'm afraid his entire family will be wiped out. In Kaoyang Ancient City, there aren't many who dare to talk to Lin Kishan like that. This kid really isn't afraid of death. Lin Kishan's eyes turned cold. Kid, you're courting death. You can try and see if I'm courting death or not. Jai Yu didn't back down at all. He was now alone and had no worries. Although he had a high status in the Lin family, it didn't affect him much. He already offended a young master of the Chen family, Chen Yan, so he didn't mind offending another Lin Kishan. One more wouldn't be too much, one less wouldn't be too little. Lin Kishan's expression became more and more gloomy. However, just as he was about to let this kid have a taste of his own medicine, a cold voice suddenly came from outside the door. Silence! Following this voice, the crowd quieted down. Even the sound of breathing could be heard. The person who came was a beautiful woman in a white dress. It was the Yushian that Jai you saw last time. Chapter 15. As the number one genius of alchemy, Yushian was now a rank 2 alchemist. Her status in Kaoyang ancient city was extremely high. No one dared to act rashly in front of Yushian, so everyone was very obedient. Even Lin Kishan, upon seeing that it was Yushian, had no choice but to find another seat with a displeased expression. Yushian slowly walked to the podium and her beautiful eyes quickly swept across everyone. She then opened her mouth and said, "Since everyone is here, then the alchemy class will begin immediately. Today's alchemy class will first talk about the basics of alchemy, then we'll try alchemy practice at the end." Everyone present listened to Yushian's speech quietly. There was almost no noise at all. Hearing that there was no more noise in the hall, Yushian nodded slightly and continued. "I'm sure most of you have very little contact with alchemy, so I'll start with the most basic things. To become a true alchemist, other than having a strong soul force, you also need to have a high enough talent in alchemy. These are all innate, and it's very difficult to improve through training. I hope everyone understands this point. Next, I'll talk about alchemy. Alchemy is refining pills, and you need to have shuenkai, fire seed, materials, container, and soul force. These 5 things can be said to be indispensable at this moment. Jai Yu was also seriously listening to the class. Whether or not he could become an alchemist, it was always better to try. Suddenly, a system notification sounded in his mind. Ding! Master has listened to alchemy class for 1 minute. Alchemy attainment gained experience. 1,999 times. Ding! Congratulations, Master. Alchemy attainment has successfully broken through to rank 1 alchemist. Jai Yu's face was filled with disbelief. He had just listened to an alchemy class, and he had become a rank 1 alchemist. At the same time, he felt a large amount of alchemy knowledge enter his mind. He also felt that his soul force had increased. He was shocked again. One had to know that soul force was innate, and it was very difficult to improve it through training. Right now, he only listened to a minute of alchemy class and his soul force increased. Without a doubt, he should now have the alchemy attainment of a rank 1 alchemist. Jai Yu suppressed the excitement in his heart with difficulty and focused more on the alchemy class. If he continued to listen, he would be able to get stronger. At the same time, Yushian was also teaching. Let's talk about Shuenkai first. Every martial cultivator has Shuenkai in their body, and alchemy is a very delicate job. Normally, it takes a long time to slowly refine pills. At the same time, alchemy requires Shuenkai to be activated. The entire process consumes a large amount of Shuenkai, so martial cultivation is very important to an alchemist. Alchemy. Alchemists. But there are some special alchemy alchemists. Alchemy. The materials were all kinds of heavenly treasures. If one wanted to concoct pills, one naturally had to prepare the materials needed to concoct pills. Containers are alchemy furnaces, alchemy cauldrons, and the like. You can use whatever you want. It depends on your habits. There is also soul force. Everyone is born with soul force. The strength varies from person to person. It is very difficult to increase one's soul force. I won't explain it here. The specific use of soul force is to identify materials, control the temperature, control the timing of alchemy, and so on. Control of the temperature must be appropriate. If the temperature is too high, all the materials will be wasted. If the temperature is too low, it will make it difficult to condense the pill. Controlling the timing of alchemy is also the same. The timing must be controlled accurately. Otherwise, it will cause a series of problems. Whether it is the control of the temperature or the timing of alchemy, it will affect the success or failure of the alchemy. And these all need to be controlled by soul force. This most basic knowledge has been explained. Next, I will explain to you the various types of alchemy and materials. Yushian's speech was not fast. Everyone present could hear it clearly. Most of the people were listening very seriously. After all, listening to a beauty's lecture was a different kind of enjoyment. Jai Yu was also very focused. Every minute, there would be a system notification sound in his mind. Ding! Master has listened to alchemy class for 1 minute. Alchemy attainments gained experience. 1,999 times. Ding! Master has listened to alchemy class for 1 minute. Alchemy attainments gained experience. 1,999 times. Ding! Congratulations, Master. Alchemy attainments has successfully broken through to become an intermediate grade 1 alchemist. Time slowly passed. Jai Yu gradually rose from an inferior grade 1 alchemist to an intermediate grade 1 alchemist. This efficiency was simply too good. His eyes were filled with joy. In the past, he never dared to imagine that he could directly become an intermediate grade 1 alchemist after listening to a few minutes of alchemy class. Feeling a large amount of knowledge entering his mind and the increase in his soul force, Jai Yu could be sure that everything that was happening was real. Alchemists were clearly divided into grades. From the lowest to the highest, they were divided into grades 1 to 9. There were also 3 grades: inferior, intermediate, and superior. He estimated that it would not be long before he could be promoted to an inferior grade 2 alchemist. On the stage,
Yushion, who was known as the #1 alchemist in Kaoyang Ancient City,
was said to be only an intermediate grade 2 alchemist. Chapter 16. The basic alchemy knowledge lesson has ended. The last part is alchemy practice. I will personally demonstrate the alchemy process for all of you. As Yushion spoke, she waved her hand and a cauldron appeared on the stage out of thin air. Following that, there were many alchemy materials. Jai Yu knew that Yushion took these things out from her storage ring. Now, I will demonstrate the alchemy process for the gradeless strength pill. As Yushion refined the pill, she explained in detail to everyone. The first step is to start a fire and warm the cauldron. When the temperature of the cauldron is raised to a certain level, we can begin the second step. The second step is to put the materials needed to refine the strength pill into the cauldron. The third step is to control the temperature of the fire. I have just said the importance of controlling the temperature of the fire. It must be controlled properly. The materials in the cauldron will gradually turn into liquid pills. When all the materials have completely turned into liquid pills, the pills can be condensed. The fourth and final step is to control the timing of the pill condensation. The timing must be precise and not the slightest bit of carelessness. When Yushion finished explaining the entire alchemy process, she had also successfully refined a cauldron of strength pills. At this moment, there was a soft exclamation from below the stage. Miss Yushion is indeed the #1 genius in alchemy. Her alchemy skills are so skillful. She is simply comparable to those veteran alchemists. A gradeless pill like this is a piece of cake for her. In just 2 to 3 minutes, a cauldron of strength pills was refined. It's really amazing. How good would it be if I could have Miss Yushion's alchemy skills? PFFT, you can continue daydreaming. You will never be able to reach Miss Yu's current level in this lifetime. Even Jai Yu was surprised. However, what surprised him was not Yushion's alchemy skills, but the sound from the system. Ding! Master has watched an alchemist refine pills for 1 minute. Alchemy attainment gained experience, 1,999 times. Ding! Owner has watched an alchemist refine pills for 1 minute. Experience gained in alchemy attainment, 1,999 times. Who would have thought that other than listening to lectures, watching others concoct pills would also give him 999 times experience enhancement? This ability was too heaven-defying. Jai Yu felt that she would soon be able to break through and become a superior grade 1 alchemist. It was a pity that Yushion was able to refine the energy dance so quickly. At the same time, Yushion opened her mouth and said, I have just demonstrated the entire pill refining process. In conclusion, the first step of heating the furnace and the second step of putting in the ingredients are the easiest. However, the third step of controlling the temperature of the fire and the fourth step of condensing the pill are very difficult. Now, who is willing to come up and try refining pills? Me! Jai Yu raised her hand. In fact, he didn't fight for it at all. It was because the others were hesitating that he became the first to volunteer. As soon as he said that, everyone's eyes fell on him. Isn't this the kid who had a conflict with Lin Kishin just now? It's really him. He didn't even hesitate and wanted to be the first to try. It seems like he's really a hothead. I feel that his brain isn't working well. Could it be that he saw Miss Yu successfully refining the energy dance so easily and thought that this pill is easy to refine? That's right. Anyway, he will probably come down in less than a minute after going up. It won't take much time. Lin Kishin listened to the mocking and ridiculing voices directed at Jai Yu from all around, making him feel very comfortable. He looked at Jai Yu with a mocking smile and mocked. I think you better not go up and waste your time. The energy dan isn't something that a trash layman like you can refine. Although he had never come into contact with alchemy, he still knew how difficult it was to refine pills. Even if it was just an ungraded energy dan, It wasn't something that ordinary people could refine, let alone this poor country bumpkin. Are you so sure that I don't know how to refine pills? Jai-Yu stood up and glanced at Lin Kishin, who was sitting on the right, and said indifferently. Lin Kishin was slightly stunned and couldn't help but laugh. Ha ha ha, you can't be saying that you know how to refine pills, right? Not only Lin Kishin, but many people around also laughed. A little brat dares to say that he knows how to refine pills. Is he here to be a joke? This brat is probably an idiot sent by the Kaoyang branch to ease the atmosphere. I'm dying of laughter. I think this brat isn't an idiot, but a retard. Ha ha ha, hearing the mocking laughter coming from all around, Jai-Yu suddenly felt quite speechless. He was too lazy to continue wasting his breath with these guys. Quiet. At this time, Yushian's cold and pleasant voice came and everyone immediately shut their mouths. Even if they couldn't speak, they all looked at Jai-Yu with mocking eyes. These gazes were like sharp knives stabbing Jai-Yu. Chapter 17. After climbing up the stairs, Jai-Yu stood beside Yushian. The ingredients are on the table. Take a sit, and you can start refining the energy pill, Yushian said in a friendly tone. Compared to those fellows below the stage who only knew how to talk, she thought more highly of this young man who volunteered. Although this young man basically had no chance of success, at least he had the courage to try refining the pill. She planned to pay close attention to this young man's refining process later so that she could give the best suggestions and help this young man. Jai-Yu didn't know what Yushian was thinking. At this moment, he had already taken a set of ingredients to the furnace and was preparing to refine the energy pill. Following the steps Yushian demonstrated earlier, combined with the alchemy knowledge in his mind, he naturally started to warm the furnace. Ding! It has been detected that the owner has started to refine the gradeless energy pill. The success rate has increased by 999 times. Jai-Yu was stunned. 999 times the success rate. After a while, he finally reacted. Did this mean that his success rate of refining the energy pill had increased by 999 times? Jai-Yu couldn't believe what he heard. If the success rate of 999 times was real, then there was no possibility of him failing. From the beginning until now, the system had never lied to him. This time, the success rate of 999 times should be real too. He already had the alchemy skills of an intermediate grade 1 alchemist. In addition, the success rate had increased by 999 times. No matter what, there was no possibility of him failing. The more Jai-Yu thought about it, the more excited he got. He didn't have any psychological pressure when refining the pill. Now, he was very casual. When he felt that the temperature of the furnace was about right, he casually threw the ingredients into the furnace. Seeing this, Yushian frowned slightly. Throwing the ingredients casually like this, wasn't he afraid of causing some negative effects? After that, Jai-Yu started to control the temperature of the furnace. With the sole power of a medium grade 1 alchemist, this kind of ungraded energy origin pill was not a problem for him at all. He could easily control the flame to the most suitable state. Seeing this, Yushian's beautiful eyes showed a slight change. As a second-grade intermediate alchemist, she could naturally see that this young man had controlled the flame to an almost perfect state. Was this luck or strength? Compared to the latter, Yushian felt that the former was more likely. If it was really luck, then it could be explained. It was not possible to rely purely on strength. If it was purely based on strength, one would need to be at least a level 1 alchemist or even a level 1 alchemist to achieve this level. She didn't believe that this young man had the ability to refine pills above the level of a grade 1 intermediate alchemist. Jai-Yu didn't notice that she had attracted Yushian's attention. She was still focused on refining pills. After a while, he successfully refined all the ingredients into liquid pills. The moment the ingredients completely turned into liquid pills, he suddenly made a pill condensing hand seal. This pill condensing hand seal was provided by the system when he broke through to become a grade 1 alchemist. It didn't seem to have a grade. It was just a very ordinary pill condensing hand seal. Immediately, an energy origin pill was successfully refined by Jai-Yu. Following that, a system notification sounded. Ding! Master has successfully refined an energy origin pill. Alchemy attainment obtained experience points, 10,999 times. Ding! Congratulations, Master. Alchemy attainment has successfully broken through to become a level 1 alchemist. Ding! It has been detected that Master's refinement of pills has no grade. The energy origin pill is complete. The success rate of refining pills has returned to normal. A familiar feeling came. Jiayu felt that his alchemy level, soul power, and other aspects had improved by leaps and bounds. According to this efficiency, he estimated that he would be able to break through to become a grade 2 alchemist after refining a few more pills. At the same time, a fragrance filled the classroom. After smelling this fragrance, the young men and women in the classroom reacted and were shocked. This fragrance, it's the same as the one that Yushion gave out just now. This means that this is impossible. That kid actually refined the energy origin pill successfully. How long has it been? Could it be that a gradeless pill is really so easy to refine? I'm going to try it later. I think so too. I think it's because the gradeless energy origin pill is easier to refine. That's why that kid could refine it so easily. These people were not willing to believe that this was Jiayu's real strength. Instead, they all thought that it was because the energy origin pill was easier to refine. Not only that, but Lin Kishin also thought so. He originally thought that he was going to lose face and was panicking. However, after hearing other people's doubts about the energy origin pill, he immediately calmed down. In the entire classroom, only Yushion's expression became serious. The performance of this young man in front of her had far exceeded her expectations. Previously, when he controlled the fire, it could still be explained by luck. Now that he had refined the energy origin pill, it couldn't be luck anymore. Because no matter how good his luck was, it was impossible for an ordinary person to refine a pill successfully. This young man's alchemy level was definitely not ordinary. Yushion gradually started to value Jiayu. She planned to find a chance later to test this black-robed young man's alchemy level. At the same time, she also felt that this alchemy class had become interesting. A young man who was looked down upon by everyone actually had an extraordinary alchemy level. A faint arc appeared on her lips as she looked forward to how things would develop next. Chapter 18. I want to give it a try. Me too. It's such a simple energy pill. How can I be left out? A bunch of people were fighting to go up and try to perform in front of Yushion. Even that hothead could easily refine the energy pill, so they would definitely be able to do better. Jiayu shook her head and smiled when she saw these people distorting the truth. A young man went up to try first. He looked very confident, as if he had accumulated a lot of basic knowledge. The first two steps were fine when he started to warm the furnace and put in the materials. However, when it came to the third step of controlling the fire, the furnace exploded in a short while. The young man was dumbfounded. Wasn't the energy pill easy to refine? Not only that, but the group of people below the stage were also stunned. However, there were still many people who didn't believe it and went up to try one after another. In the end, they all failed in various ways. This time, they finally woke up and looked at Jiayu in disbelief. Only Lin Kishin was still unwilling to believe it. He lowered his head with a gloomy expression and felt that his brain was trembling. These people must be too trashy, and that's why they all failed. The energy pill was still very easy. That's right, that must be it. At this moment, Yushion asked, "Is there anyone else who wants to go up and try?" After waiting for a while, no one made a sound. They knew very well that they would be completely embarrassed if they went up now. Since no one wants to go up, then forget it. However, there's still some time left. Are you willing to challenge a higher level pill? While speaking, Yushion shifted her gaze to Jiayu, who was standing at the side. Then I'll try to refine a first-class pill. Jiayu thought for a moment and nodded. As soon as she said that, everyone was shocked. Fuck, did I hear wrongly? He actually wants to refine a first-class pill. A superior grade 1 medicinal pill. That's a medicinal pill that can only be refined by a superior grade 1 alchemist. Is this guy crazy? Damn, he just refined an energy pill that doesn't even have a grade. How dare he try to refine a first-class pill? This guy is too arrogant. Even though Jiayu had easily refined the energy pill earlier, no one thought that he had the ability to challenge the superior grade elixir. This was because the difference between a gradeless elixir and a superior grade elixir was not small at all. Some people were able to refine gradeless pills, but they were unable to refine gradeless pills. They were unable to become a real alchemist with status. From this, it could be seen how huge the gap between a gradeless pill and a low-grade pill was, let alone a high-grade pill that was 2 grades higher than a low-grade pill. Lin Kishin, on the other hand, was overjoyed. Luckily, this brat didn't know the immensity of the heavens and earth, actually daring to challenge a high-grade pill. In the end, this brat would definitely lose. In that case, not only would he not be slapped in the face, he would also be able to properly mock this brat. Only Yushian's expression did not change. She already had a premonition that this young man had the ability to refine a first-class alchemist. She was not surprised that he would challenge a first-class superior-grade elixir. Yushian did not have the slightest intention of looking down on Jiayu. Instead, she was looking forward to seeing if Jiayu could really refine a first-class superior-grade elixir. However, she did not reveal her emotions. "All right, then I'll let you try the King Shuan pill." Yushian waved her hand and a pile of materials appeared out of thin air. There are a total of 3 sets of materials. If you successfully refine a King Shuan pill, I can directly apply to the Koyang branch to let you become a first-class alchemist. Jiayu completely ignored the group of people below the stage and nodded slightly at Yushian. "I understand." This woman's attitude and tone made him feel a little surprised. However, he did not think too much about it and directly started to refine the pill. After he started a fire and put in the materials, a system notification suddenly sounded. Ding! Detected that the owner has started to refine the first-class superior-grade elixir King Shuan pill. The success rate has increased by 999 times. Jiayu could not help but be surprised. He originally just wanted to test his alchemy skills. He did not expect to get 999 times success rate under such circumstances. He could not help but think if he could refine a second-class or third-class elixir, would he be able to get 999 times success rate? With a 999 times success rate, Jiayu immediately became more confident. Then, he started to control the fire with his soul power. The first-class King Shuan pill was indeed many times more difficult to refine than the Strength Origin pill. He had to control the fire carefully. Otherwise, the 999 times success rate would not help him. This was because if there was a problem with the fire, the success rate of refining the King Shuan pill would be 0. Wouldn't it still be 0? In the next half an hour, Jiayu had been controlling the fire. The speed of the materials turning into liquid was very slow. What's going on? Why hasn't this kid's furnace exploded yet? I think he's controlling the fire very low and is slowly burning the materials. This way, he won't be able to finish it by tomorrow. He's just wasting our time. There's no hope of success at all. I'm speechless. Many people below the stage were already impatient and started to complain softly. Jiayu did not care about anyone's complaints at all. He was fully focused on the alchemy furnace. After a few minutes, he finally felt that the materials in the alchemy furnace had all turned into liquid. He immediately made a hand seal to condense the liquid into a pill. Then, a King Shuan pill was successfully condensed. Ding! Master has successfully refined a first-class superior-grade elixir King Shuan pill. Alchemy attainment gained experience, 199 times. At the same time, many people below the stage instantly smelled a strong pill fragrance. At this moment, they were completely dumbfounded. Chapter 19. Everyone in the audience was so shocked that they couldn't even close their jaws as they looked at Jiayu in a daze. They only felt a great shock in their hearts as their minds went blank, and they couldn't say a word. Especially Lin Kishin, his eyes were full of disbelief as he shook his head in a daze. He murmured, "Impossible, this is impossible." Even Yushian was a little surprised. Although she had a hunch that this young man might be able to pass the challenge, but that speed just now was still beyond her expectations. Generally, it would take more than an hour for a top grade 1 alchemist to refine a top grade 1 pill. But this young man only used half an hour to successfully refine it. This speed surpassed most of the top grade 1 alchemists. If it was when she was still a top grade 1 alchemist, she would be ashamed of her inferiority to this young man in the same realm. Jiayu took out the successfully refined Azure Profound pill from the alchemy furnace. Just as he was about to take this Azure Profound pill to Yushian for inspection, Yushian spoke first. "You don't need to let me look at it. You have already completed the challenge, so this Azure Profound pill is yours, and the remaining 2 materials are also for you." "Thank you." Jiayu thanked her. This Azure Profound pill and the remaining 2 materials could be said to be a generous gift. They were truly worth 1,000 gold. Originally, these things should be returned to Yushian. After all, these things originally belonged to Yushian, but now Yushian gave them to him for free. Such a generous gift. How could he not be grateful? "No need to be so polite. I will soon help you apply for a top grade 1 alchemist identity. Come with me later, Yushian said. Yes, Jiayu nodded. Today's alchemy class is over. Everyone can disperse. Yushian said lightly, then got up and left the classroom. Jiayu immediately followed. The rest of the people were still sitting there in a daze. Obviously, they haven't recovered from the shock just now. Jiayu silently followed behind Yushian. Not long after, he followed Yushian into a room. This room looked like it was used to receive guests. Yushian flicked her sleeves and elegantly sat down. She stretched out her hand and said, "Sit as you please." Okay. Jiayu was not too reserved and casually sat on a chair. Please tell me your name and age. When I help you apply for the alchemist's identity, I will need it. Yushian talked. She went straight to the point. Jiayu, 16 years old. Jiayu's answer. Jiayu? For a short moment, Yushian's name. However, she realized that she had no impression of the name Jiayu at all, which meant that she had never heard of this name before. Not only that, she had never heard of a family with a surname Jai. And the next moment, she determined that the name Jiayu was a fake name. Yushian believed that the youth in front of her deliberately used a fake name, not wanting to reveal his real name. In her opinion, this youth was only 16 years old, but he already had the skills of a first-grade alchemist. It was impossible for him to be a lone martial artist. Talent was important, but the power he belonged to was also very important. If a genius only had talent but didn't have a power to discover this genius, then this genius could only become a commoner. Yushian deeply understood this point, so she determined that this youth had used a fake name. Yushian would never have thought that not only was Jiayu's real name, but he also didn't have any power behind him. At this time, Jiayu didn't know what Yushian was thinking. She only heard him ask, "Then, does Miss you have anything else to say?" Yushian said without changing her expression, "I want to know when you started to learn alchemy. Is it convenient for you to tell me?" About a year ago. Jiayu didn't think too much and casually made up a lie. If he said that he had only started to learn alchemy today, it would be too much of a lie. No one would believe him. He couldn't possibly reveal the system, right? So he could only casually make up a lie. Only a year? Yushian was slightly surprised, but then she praised. Your talent in alchemy is very good. You've only been learning alchemy for a year, but you've already reached the level of a first-grade alchemist. Miss Yu is too kind. Jiayu said modestly. In fact, he really wanted to curse in his heart. How could this be considered good talent? Then I hope you can reach the level of a second-grade alchemist as soon as possible. When the time comes, I have a very important matter to ask of you. Yushian's tone suddenly became a little solemn. Then she added, Of course, I won't be stingy in terms of remuneration. We'll talk about it when you become a second-grade alchemist. Although he was a little confused, Jiayu still nodded. The other party had already given him a lot of benefits. As long as it was something he could do, he didn't mind helping. Moreover, the other party also said that he would be rewarded when the time came. Then it's settled. From tomorrow onwards, you'll have a real identity as a first-grade alchemist. When the time comes, you must remember to come to the Kaoyang branch to get your alchemist badge. That's a symbol of your identity. Yushian said. Sorry to trouble you, Miss Yu. I'll take my leave first. There was nothing else, so Jiayu left the room. Looking at Jiayu's back as he left, Yushian's beautiful eyes flickered a little. Chapter 20. In Kaoyang Ancient City, in front of the Lin family's gate, a luxurious carriage slowly approached. Second miss, we have arrived at the Lin family's gate. The driver seemed to be talking to the person in the carriage. A small head popped out of the carriage and looked around. This person was the second miss of the mayor's mansion, Zhang Yuixin. At the same time, in the Lin family's meeting hall. What did you say? The second miss of the mayor's mansion came to our Lin family. A middle-aged man with an extraordinary temperament exclaimed. It's true, master. The person on the other side was an old servant. That middle-aged man was obviously the current master of the Lin family, Lin Jianshan. After hearing the old servant's words, Lin Jianshan fell into deep thought. Why did the second miss of the mayor's mansion, who had never visited the Lin family before, suddenly come today? Did something happen? At the moment, Lin Jianshan couldn't care too much. He immediately instructed the old servant. Quickly send someone to prepare. I will personally go and welcome Miss Zhang. Yes, the old servant obeyed and left. Lin Jianshan also quickly walked out of the meeting hall. The second miss of the mayor's mansion actually came to the Lin family. This was a very big deal. Although the Lin family was one of the three great families in Kaohsiung ancient city, there was another power that had a transcendent status, and that was the mayor's mansion. The mayor's mansion controlled the entire Kaohsiung ancient city, and the Lin family didn't dare to offend them. Otherwise, why would the master of the Lin family personally come out to welcome a little girl? Soon, Lin Janshin arrived in front of the gate. He looked at Zhang Yuixin, who was walking down from the carriage, and said with a flattering smile, "Miss Zhang, why did you suddenly come to my Lin family today?" "You are the master of the Lin family, Lin Janshin." Zhang Yuixin didn't hold back at all. "That's me." Lin Janshin maintained his smile. Although the other party didn't give him face, he didn't dare to complain. "I came to the Lin family today to see someone," Zhang Yuixin said calmly, but there was a hint of arrogance in her eyes. Lin Janshin was slightly stunned. He did not expect Zhang Yuixin to come here to look for someone. He then asked, "Who does Miss Zhang want to see?" Zhang Yuixin thought for a moment, then replied, "Who is the #1 martial arts genius of the Lin family?" "He's the person I'm looking for. The #1 genius of our Lin family." "Miss Zhang is referring to my son, Lin Kishin." Lin Janshin asked in shock. "Yes, it should be him." Zhang Yuixin nodded without hesitation. She thought for a moment. With that bastard strength, he was definitely the #1 martial arts genius in the Lin family. But the name Lin Kishin didn't sound good to her. Lin Janshin was delighted. "Miss, please come to the Lin family first. My son, Lin Kishin, went out and hasn't returned yet, but he should be back soon." The second miss of the mayor's mansion wanted to see his son, Lin Kishin. This was good news for the Lin family. In his opinion, this Miss Zhang must have taken a fancy to Lin Kishin's talent and was interested in him, so she came to see him. If Lin Kishin and this Miss Zhang could be a couple, the Lin family would be able to climb up the mountain of the mayor's mansion. Then, the Lin family would be able to soar to the top. Okay. Zhang Yuixin followed Lin Janshin into the Lin family mansion. There were several guards in black following behind her.